Hi guys, this is Prashant Rao, and today I thought we'll look at a couple of stocks. And a few days ago, I was looking at them, and they were all telling me that the market was going to be headed lower, but the opposite happened. The market rallied uh, nearly 675 points on the Dow Jones, and similarly on the NASDAQ and Russell. So I thought it would continue, but then soon enough, the market turned and started heading in the opposite direction that I was expecting. So some of you reached out and asked me how I can analyze that. I thought I would do a video on it and explain my thought process. So hopefully you can benefit from it. So before we start, uh, let's talk about the markets a little bit. So the markets in general are a discounting mechanism. So that means that all widely known information has been pre-priced, and it can be anywhere from 3 to 30 months out. If the if there's lack of clarity, it's closer to 3 months. Otherwise, it's closer to 30-month range in normal circumstances. So trying to trade on the news, that's coming out saying we had this new, had this great earnings, or we had this new drug, or whatever it is, that's already been priced in. And in fact, especially ones like, I see some of you trading on Zoom and Amazon, saying people are working from home, and that's going to increase the demand for Amazon, and everyone's going to be doing video calls. The kind of stuff is not news. That's already baked into the stocks, and it's pretty widely known information. So you might get lucky sometimes, but you might not most of the time. So with that, let's go into the charts. So the stocks that I was looking at were, the mega cap stocks: Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft. In addition to that, I was looking at Shopify and Zoom Media, some of these high flying stocks that everybody loves. Because they usually tell you a good story on what's going to happen, because those are generally the stocks to turn, you know, or initiate the turn in the market. And for those of you that probably aren't aware, the top 5 stocks on the NASDAQ pretty much make up about 20-25% of the S&P, which is quite phenomenal if you think about it. So you're trading in a market that is extremely narrow, and that warrants extra caution. So let's look at a few charts. So in this chart, you're looking at Shopify, and a few days back, I noticed this, gigantic key reversal. There's a pretty massive key reversal here. Excuse me. Sometimes this doesn't seem to. So there you go. That this giant red bar is the key reversal. It opened on the high, closed on the low. And you can see along with that, you have several of these, what I call as the inside day bars. As one, I mean, and it's continuing, so it's we haven't broken out of that pattern yet. So all of these are inside day bars. They are all within the range of the larger bar, and every time the price seems to head higher, it gets knocked down back. Right, so that's what's been going on. So this kind of action is usually bearish, and you see a reversal, and then the prices can't seem to go any higher. So the general tendency at that point would be for the stock to come back. So that's what I was noticing even a few days ago before this, these 3 bars over here. So that told me that at least for now we have seen the run in Shopify come to an end for the near term. And unless we see some kind of consolidation, it's not going to move. Let's look at Zoom. The same kind of pattern in Zoom. So I noticed this giant key reversal, close, open on the high, close on the low, and then there were these inside bars and then a little bit outside, but I generally tend to consider anything this close as an inside bar. So you probably, if you wanted to trade this, you probably want to enter here just below that inside day bar. And soon enough, it broke and started heading downward. So this was what I was seeing earlier um, in the previous week. So let's look at Amazon. This is kind of interesting. Oops, sorry. And so on Amazon, I noticed this double top formation, and there's a key reversal. So it opened on the high, closed on the low, and then it started moving downward. So then it even broke the neckline. So the neckline was here, and it kind of broke that pattern. If you were to consider this as a neckline, it probably hasn't broken yet, but kind of broke through the previous what I was considering the neckline. So in general, I expected the price to go this way, but what happened is it just jumped and soon came back the other way. So you can see that it actually completed the double top now with this gigantic reversal that happened after earnings. And at this point, it has clearly crossed the neckline, no matter which one you consider as a neckline. And the price of this is generally expected to be heading lower. So let's look at Facebook. Um, in general, with Facebook, you can see that there is this wedge formation, and usually when this happens, you see some kind of consolidation. There was also this reversal going on, not as clear cut as Amazon, but in general didn't look like the rally would continue for long. And let's look at Microsoft. Similar story with Microsoft. So we saw this reversal and then another big reversal. It moved up in a couple of inside bars and price came down, jumped up and down. So here I expected that this would head lower after some more consolidation, and that did happen. So this now has formed or is forming a double top, and once it crosses that neckline, then I think this would head much lower. Let's look at Apple, Amazon, Apple. Let's look at Apple. With Apple, similarly, we saw this double top formation, early double top formation. If this had continued, would have crossed the neckline, and you would have seen some consolidation, but it moved higher. But then here's the reversal bar and closed on the low. So this is likely to be forming a double top and might continue its way lower. So all of this price action was telling me the same thing, which is general slight bearishness. I don't think market's gonna fall off a cliff, but there is some um, pullback or drawdown that is probably going to happen in the next couple of days. And as you can see from here, eventually that did happen. We saw the reversal and it's moving down. So it's broken this trend here. This is the trend line, and we've now broken out of that trend line. So it's very likely that you might see some consolidation. I don't know how far it will go, but um, probably at the very least, oops, excuse me, the very least until here, until this point here. So that's what I kind of expect for now. And I saw similar patterns in the gold chart. For those interested in gold, say USD. Um, so it's forming this double top here. It's actually crossed the neckline, and I suspect that this will head lower. Let's look at a couple of forex pairs. And here you can see USDJPY on the daily is sort of breached this triangle formation. There's also a long-term formation that you can see if you look at the weekly and the monthly charts. It's probably more visible on a monthly. So you can see that in general this has been heading lower, and this is your triangle formation. So once it breaks out of that triangle, it's probably going to crater. So I'm waiting for this to happen. I see similar bearishness on the US dollar, Canadian dollar, USDCAD. So it looks like there's been a double top and some consolidation going on, but once this breaks to the downside, I think this will be a phenomenal run if that happens, and I'll probably go all the way, maybe even until here. So watching these pairs, we'll see what happens. But just thought I'll do a video on the analysis that I was doing. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, comments, feel free to leave them. And if you want to get alerted on new videos, please subscribe to my channel. And that's all for now, and I'll see you next time.